Hi Leo, welcome to your September and October 2017 prosperity reading. It's Raina here. So as September begins, especially towards the second half of the month, you're going to have some energy in your second house of earned income in the form of Virgo. So Venus goes there, and Venus rules the second house of earned income and possessions, so that money vibe is definitely connected to Venus. Venus goes there on the 19th, and Mercury retrograded in this house, so you may have seen some kind of a slowdown in your income since August 12th, or maybe even before that, and now you should start to see things kind of easing up, getting back to normal. And there's a new moon the very next day on the 20th. So that can be in Virgo, of course. So that can be very good for new beginnings with the money that you earn. Okay. Now, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to pick a very simple 3-card tarot spread, past, present, future, and then 3 oracle cards. Remember, this is a general reading. Okay, so some of these cards may not seem to resonate at all, and that's for obvious reasons. There are so many Leos on this planet. When I do personal readings, I use your natal chart, and that is totally different, okay, because that is honing in on your particular cosmic blueprint for this lifetime. So if you'd like a private reading that deals with a career and life path, or some other type of reading, please click on the link below. I'll take you to my website. And so here I go with the tarot portion of this. Okay, and then we're going to pick, I'm going to pick a card from the Earth. What is this called? Earth Magic. Desert Vision Quest. And understand too that some of these oracle cards, you might say, well, what does that have to do with my finances or my career? It has everything to do with it, because these situations in life are not, we don't live separate lives. Everything is interconnected. So your spiritual life affects your financial life. And I don't mean that if you go to church every Sunday. I'm talking about just your attitude towards your life in general. And your finances affect aspects of your spiritual life. You know, if you're so worried that having a roof over your head, it's hard for you to sit and meditate because you feel like you don't even have the luxury. You're like stuck in that first chakra, that survival mode. So it's all connected. Okay, so this is, I'm just guessing. Oh, you know, it's funny. I mixed, that was brilliant. I mixed the cards in. Well, I've got half of them here. Okay. I am going to pick from Doreen Virtue's deck. Even though she's disavowing her own product. Apparently, I haven't watched her whole video. I don't know that I ever will, because I'm not really, she doesn't control my life. So her product, your creative product is something that is like your baby. So it grows into its own entity. I think to somebody like Prince, you know, Prince was very sexual when he first became popular in the, I would say, the early 80s. And, you know, he went through different incarnations, and I think his last one was being a Jehovah's Witness or something. And I think I read somewhere that he refused to sing some of those songs. Well, those songs still exist. People are not going to stop listening to those earlier songs because he won't play them. You know, it doesn't wash, and it doesn't delegitimize them. If that's how he feels about his life, you know, that's his right. But that doesn't mean we have to agree with him just because he created those songs. Okay. Oh my God, I got this for I got this for Virgo. In a way, I'm, you know, not that I'm disappointed, but I was hoping to get another type of card just so to make it more, you know, what do you call it, varied, you know, with the other signs. But one thing I want to say about that is that Virgo is all about order, you know, so maybe this will be divine order for your second house. Okay, and this is the, you know, that could actually, this one might be the Keepers of the Light. I'll have to check. Okay, this might be Doreen Virtue's deck. I'll have to check. I can't even remember. This one is Tehote and Right. Okay. So, and by the way, I didn't even tell you, I was kind of just going to let it pass or let it slide, but you're going to have in October a new moon in your third house, and that is the house of writing and communication in general. So maybe some of you do need to be writing, and that will enhance your finances. Okay, so let's start with the tarot. In the past position, we have the Eight of Wands. Wands connect to fire energy, and this can be messages or offers going back and forth. You like kind of wheeling and dealing and maybe making quick decisions. I would say this is in the area of some money decision or work decision. And there's like a hasty quality to it. So sometimes these things may not pan out. There may be a lot of excitement about what is being said, but it looks like for some people, I got this for another sign too, where it was like all that glitters isn't gold. And it's like now you feel this sense of being trapped in this place. And it could have been something where you took a gamble and then you feel you lost the gamble. And what I want to say about these two cards, I always thought that Aries is an impatient sign, and I was reading somewhere about fire signs. You know, I'm a Sagittarius. I keep saying I am a Sagittarius, and I'm waiting for somebody to write me and saying, you always say you're a Sagittarius. Fire sign. So I'm a fire sign too. That's why I keep saying it, because I want you to know that I am a fire sign like you are, and Aries is the one that's always accused of being hasty. And Aries is a cardinal sign. It's ruled by Mars, so there is that urgent sense of urgency. But fire signs are enthusiastic about things. So you might have heard something that really made you feel great, and you jumped into it, and it turned out not to be good, and now you feel trapped. Remember that you've had 2 new moons. So especially with that second one being an eclipse and being during a Mercury retrograde, maybe that's how you got caught up. Because even if, even during the first, well, I won't say that, because that might have been around the time Mercury went in shadow. Your first new moon was like July 23rd, and I think Mercury started going in its shadow around that time. So it might have been fairly recent that this happened, but you know, the outcome is of really stabilized finances. So I can't tell you how that's going to work out for you, but if you're in a situation where you feel trapped, at least this might make you feel a little bit better. Sometimes this can talk about being a good money manager. So one example of that is, maybe you need to, I know this is going to be a horrific word to hear, maybe you need to have a budget. And because Leos really like to be free spending, but it's possible. And you know, I was just thinking about something. Maybe this had nothing to do with a work situation. Maybe it was a romantic situation where somebody is bleeding you dry because they are, you got involved very hastily in a love affair, and the person's living with you and taking you for all you're worth. But whatever the circumstances are, The Four of Pentacles speaks of taking control of your finances. And I feel like if you do that, you will have financial stability. It may have to be just like a temporary thing. I know that you like to live large, but if you feel like the sense of you're not being able to do what you normally want to do, or you don't like what you're doing for your work, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I gave up such and such situation for this, and now look where I am. You know, I think that it's possible that you're going to be okay if you are taking control of things and not letting things slide, getting organized. I think it's going to happen anyway naturally when Virgo goes into your second house, all those different transits. Okay, and I think Mars will be there before that. So, yeah, I think around the 5th of, yeah, oh yeah, on the same day that Mercury turns direct in your 12th house, in your first house, you have Mars going into your second house. So that can be very good for kind of making money, and I think then you're going to kind of see it come in. Okay, so this is Desert Vision Quest. The only challenge is finding out what book it's in. Oh, you know what? I think this one is the Earth one. Yeah, so I know what book this one is in. A vision quest is a process whereby you spend a few days in the wilderness alone. Typically, you carry only water and some sacred items with you, and you spend much of the time praying or meditating. Many who have completed a vision quest assert that it is a powerful and even life-changing experience and report vivid and profound revelations. It is said that the desert does not lie, so partaking in this can help you discover the truth about your purpose, or at least give you some clues. It is time for you to go on a vision quest. Designate a place in nature in which to dwell, whether for a couple of hours or a few days. Spend the majority of your time while there praying and meditating. It is best to be in a location where you can truly find solitude, even if it is in a quiet corner of a park for an afternoon. Wherever you go, take your question, concern, or challenge with you into prayer or meditation. Allow it to float around in your consciousness and watch what shows up. This is one of the more powerful cards. By drawing it, whatever other messages you have received are amplified threefold. And this is I think this is such a great idea because, take a notebook with you. Especially if you are in a crossroads where you want to radically change your life. Maybe, I could see that totally with Leo, being a fixed sign that you kind of tolerate things for just maybe years. And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't like my marriage, I don't like my job, I don't like where I live. and then you're like overwhelmed because you're like, how can I totally revamp everything? How can I do that? How can I do it financially? How can I do it logistically and emotionally? And I feel that because of these back-to-back new moons in your sign, that a lot of you are going through major transformations. And you did have back in February a lunar eclipse in Leo. So you have been having these eclipses hit your sign, and definitely take advantage of the energy swirling around you to make positive changes in your own life. Okay, Lady Portia. I'm going to think that this is the Keepers of the Light. I think I might be right about this. Yep. Divine Order. I'll just show you the card up close again. I love the illustrations and the colors. I just love it. you notice the purple shades, which is like the enlightenment shades. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. This powerful goddess is a figure of justice and peace. She brings order and opportunity to every experience. As a lord of karma, she also regulates the law of cause and effect. She helps us recognize the impact of our judgments, choices, and actions on ourselves and the world. She is the twin flame of Saint Germain, so is strongly connected to the violet flame energy. Together, these twin flames can work as overseers of legal situations. Justice is an energy that's about honoring everyone involved rather than punishing bad behavior. Lady Portia helps us to do what is right morally and spiritually for our soul's growth. The extended message is, right now, a call of justice is being brought into your space. Even if this means you will lose out, there is really no loss in the highest state of truth. Act from the heart, see the other person's point of view, and surrender your pride so that you are coming from a loving space. If you've made choices that weren't for the highest good, admit it. Through this honesty, you are releasing any karmic bonds or anchors of fear from your energy. Take the time to learn from this situation, and if you are involved in any legal issues, know that Lady Portia and the angels of justice are gathering around to honor everyone involved. And I had kind of made talked about an example in my life because I was just mentally thinking, what is Leo's 8th house? Because I was thinking of inheritance issues, and sure enough, you have Pisces in the 8th in your chart, in your universal chart. Now, remember, this is just a universal chart. Mileage may vary significantly. But for you, that Pisces, there's going to be a full moon in Pisces on September 6th. And that could bring some kind of culmination to any kind of inheritance issue, or even possibly somebody else's money that you are connected to. So even, I guess, in a divorce decree, that could possibly be the case. Maybe even child support, And, that's actually a perfect example, child support. I probably shouldn't even wade into this because I don't have kids. So, but I sometimes think that sometimes people pursue legal matters to the nth degree because of their anger about the situation with that person. And they go above and beyond. And, like if a person says, I can't pay, and then they just like, too bad. And the hammer comes down on that person. So, as the card said, admit when you're wrong. You don't have to always be right. And to see things from the other person's point of view. I had to do that with an inheritance situation. And it just didn't feel right to pursue it, even though I had a very good case. And I felt like I felt wronged. It's one of those things. Now, I can't say that that's going to be true across the board, obviously. And I do believe in child support, don't get me wrong. But I think that the drama that surrounds these issues should be kept to a minimum. Fighting over money, to me, is one of the most degrading experiences you can engage in because it really makes people petty. People are not reduced to a dollar amount. And somebody's life isn't worth a certain amount of money. So, yes, sometimes other people try to cheat. But that's on them. They have to live with that. You can take the high road. But again, it depends on the situation. Okay. Now this one I like because I like to write. So this is Tehote. I don't know what that is. Half something. Half, what do they call a stork? And half man? Okay. So this is the Ascended Masters. You drew this card as a concrete reminder to write. You've been receiving lots of signs and feelings to write lately, so let this card be the message that leads you to take action. Get out a pad of paper or your laptop computer and begin writing. Don't worry about punctuation, grammar, or spelling, as you can take care of those details later. For now, just express your thoughts and feelings as they flow into your body, mind, and body. Additional meanings for this card. Keep a daily journal of your feelings and experiences. Write down your intentions, goals, and desires. And that kind of goes along with doing a vision quest and organizing your life, what you want from your life, your ideal life. Channel messages from your guides and angels. Your life's purpose involves writing. Write an article or book. Tehote is the Egyptian god of writing, manifestation, astronomy, and esoteric arts. He's an aspect of Hermes, the teacher of the Hermetic principles of alchemy and divine magic, who had many incarnations. He's considered the originator of written languages and was a prolific author and scribe of the ascended gods. Call upon Tehote for help with any writing project or to gain a deeper understanding and proficiency with manifestation principles. I think that's interesting that they combine manifestation with writing. That gives me, something to think about, because I have heard that if you write down your goals, they become achievable. But anyway, Leo, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I wish you a blessed next couple of months. Take care of yourselves. Bye.